Yes, absolutely different. Jack Angel, who is another uh, G.I. Joe Transformers alumnus, once pointed something out that I hadn't thought of before, but he said, in every other phase of voiceovers, we're about the last thing that happens before the product is finished. Except for animation. In animation, we are one of the first things that happens. Obviously, the first thing is somebody gets an idea for a show and gets the budget. The next thing that happens is some poor devil has to sit down and write the script. But the next thing that happens is the voiceover. Only then do the animators go to work. But in the case of Voltron, obviously this was an existing show. And this is another thing I only just looked up recently. I hadn't realized it, but the uh, the two guys who produced it, Peter Keefe and I'm forgetting the other fella's name. It may come to me. They bought three existing Japanese shows with the idea of just revoicing them. But as they looked at them, they realized for a number of different reasons this wouldn't work. So what they ended up doing was they would write original scripts and then they would comb through the footage looking for scenes that would fit these scripts. It had to be like putting a jigsaw puzzle together backwards. I can't imagine how difficult it must have been. We were oblivious to any of this by the time we got involved in the process. That had all happened. But the way it worked was we worked separately, and they would hand you the script, and next to your line would be a number, 4.5 or whatever it was. And that was the number of seconds that the character's lip flapped. And you could deliver the line in 4.4, 4.5, or 4.6. Anything longer or shorter, you had to do it again. And if it was a long speech, that's exactly what we want, but you're a second long. Okay, roll it again. Oh, now you're a second short. And it was kind of frustrating, but I have great affection for Voltron because that was very early on. I think, in fact, I know I got that just before I got the G.I. Joe and the Transformers stuff. And my God, I went from this jumped up disc jockey who didn't even know if he could get into the business, and suddenly I'm playing a lead role in this series that's going to go 125 episodes. And I was over the moon, and I'm working with, not working with, but in the cast were people of the caliber of B.J. Ward, who you mentioned, and Peter Cullen, and Michael Bell, and Lenny Weinrib, another legend in the business. And that was my first big breakthrough, was Voltron.